What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show back with another video. Now today we're talking about Attack on Titan. Now Attack on Titan is being regarded as probably like the best anime out now, like the best anime ever. It's like a general consensus type of thing. Like when back in the day everybody was like Fullmetal Alchemist was the pinnacle of great writing and action and inside of an anime, and it could be considered the best anime ever. Nobody would ever pick it because it's like the best choice. It's like basketball. You know, in basketball you might have a clear-cut better player, like a better all-time player, but you might pick a player that's not necessarily that you know really isn't the best overall, but you know to you that person is the best. And I feel like that is the whole situation with Attack on Titan. It's certainly a great anime, great writing. I read the whole thing, but we won't really get into spoilers. I'll just say here that it is an amazing piece of fictional literature or whatever you want to call it. Honestly, it's one of the anime where I thought was really good. I thought it was good and it was one direction, but it completely just changed directions, and it did it in a way that was phenomenal. Like, you never saw it coming. You know, it actually had generic twists. The only way you could see it coming is if you were spoiled yourself. And at that point in time, when stuff was going on with this anime, when this anime was in the middle of changing who it was, you couldn't really avoid spoilers. Like for me, I got spoiled on the identities of certain characters and stuff. And like I said, I won't do any spoilers here because I understand how sucky that was for me to find out early. It got to a point where the show had so many twists and turns, I actually wanted to read the manga so that nobody could ever spoil me again. So when this stuff come out, they can't really spoil me because I'm already here. But enough of that aside. Now, I played the Attack on Titan game, the one they had for pretty much every system, I think. And to be honest though, I honestly really liked the game. I thought it was really fun. I liked the way that the combat was, like as far as like the maneuvers and ODM gear. I like that you could be a Titan in the game. Like it was actually pretty fun to me. Now, no, the game in itself was actually so fun that I wouldn't mind picking it back up again. Like you'll be surprised. You go back and actually play it, you'll be surprised how good the game was. I feel like when I originally thought of Attack on Titan, I thought that maybe they couldn't have a game. Actually interested in Attack on Titan, definitely for the game. I liked it a lot. I had a good couple hours into it. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun. But that actually brings me back to my point, man. We got new gen systems. I would actually love to see a very interactive full world of Attack on Titan from start to finish. I think what specifically is good about Attack on Titan, it has a sort of framework where I think it could go crazy. Like, I'm seriously thinking about it in my mind, like a big giant world where it's centered around like the wall and stuff. And I think it could either be one of two things. I think it could be maybe earlier Titan era, because there's this one thing I wanted to bring up. I can't remember what it was. It felt like a fever dream to me. When I was reading Attack on Titan, I found this other manga, I guess by the same person, and I think it's called Before the Fall or something like that, and it's basically based before the actual main story. I think I actually started reading it before I actually got into the manga, because I was just trying to figure out which one it was and figure out just generally what Attack on Titan was. And I'd already watched the anime, and maybe some of the animes don't have the full titles. It's basically set in the same world, but before they really had any devices to be able to even defeat the Titans. Like, they didn't have any really of the gear or anything. The walls are still there, obviously. If you know the story, you'll know why. But it follows a main character I really, really enjoyed. I really, really liked. And at that time, I thought I liked more than Eren. But, you know how that went. I could even see that being a part of the story in a sense. Maybe not necessarily for gameplay, because the ODM gear was definitely fun in the Attack on Titan game we have now. But I would really realistically love to see what they could do. Like, maybe when they create all these big open world games, the reason why I feel like they really aren't holding my attention is because I don't care about the game. I don't care about the city. Like in Watch Dogs 3, they had this big giant city. It was like London. It was very technologically advanced and stuff, and it was open world. I don't really even care. Even when playing something like Odyssey, which has like really, really nice architecture, and you know, Ragnarok and all of those games have really, really nice architecture, really nice scenic routes. I don't really care about it as much. I made a video talking about Marvel, and the reason I think Marvel Midnight Suns would be good just because I like to see a more in-depth look at these different worlds that I'm already interested in. So something like Attack on Titan, to really be able to explore like the actual world, would be interesting, you know. And you have the mechanic of you needing gas for your ODM gear, and there's an element of survival in those games that I think could really shine out on a newer system, dealing with supplies and such, because it's such in a state where you're basically being the prey. You're the prey. And maybe if you do want to throw in some Titan gameplay, maybe add a another Titan. And maybe say this Titan was lost to form, you know, maybe it's not necessarily this amount of Titans. They can actually change the story up in a way where it wouldn't really affect the canon. If they don't want to start it like as a prequel, or they don't want to start it as like a after the series type thing, they can definitely base it around the story, or do like they did with the game. They have a mode where it revolves around the story where you're a different character than everyone else. And then you could also just be fighting Titans as part of like Levi squad and stuff, and that could be really cool too. Depending on how they do it, it can actually be a really great game. I mean, personally, I would love that. I would love they do something like that. Anime games, to me though, they don't have that kind of budget. That sucks though. They really don't have that kind of budget. But let me ask you guys this: what would you? Well, okay, let me ask you guys, just rewind it back. What company would you give this to? For me, it'd be CyberConnect 2, because they really haven't dropped a bad game for me. They haven't dropped a bad game for me, but I really wish they would do more projects that weren't necessarily just Dragon Ball. You know. They do games for like Naruto. They did the Amazing Storm franchises, but I really want to see them kind of really do more in terms of like different video games. And I have to be careful saying that, because I don't know every anime video game company that has done every game, but I pretty much know a lot of times when I see CyberConnect 2 is gonna be a good game, and you know, that's one of the names that actually stands out to me. You know, that they might actually develop a really great game. I could see them doing something like this. Attack on Titan being as big as it is, might get a bigger budget than, you know, regular normal games. I could really see them doing a really good job with that. But let me know what company you guys want. What type of game would you want? Like maybe more survival. I honestly could see and I feel like it might happen. You know, they have the Dragon Ball Breakers now, where there is like you run around and you have to try to survive and everything, and they might actually do an Attack on Titan version of that. I honestly would see an Attack on Titan version before I would see a Dragon Ball Z version, but me personally, I want a bigger mainline Attack on Titan game before we get something like that. But with that being said, guys, the final season should be coming out whenever, and you know, we'll see where the hype goes from there, whether they'll build on the hype and try to merchandise it a little bit more. I guess we'll see when that happens. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'll see you guys next video.